I'm outside doing a bunch of things, building a table, and collecting sticks in my backyard for my fairy house. But figured it was a perfect time to read the rest of Peter Pan chapter. Hope you guys are outside doing the same and having fun. It's a beautiful day. Frantically, Tinkerbell flew onto Peter's shoulder and begged his forgiveness, but he brushed her off. Lying on the ground, Wendy stirred slightly. She's waking up. I'll be all right, she said wearily. You don't have to banish her. Well, all right, Peter told Tinkerbell. You can come back, but not for a whole week. You would think that Tinkerbell would be grateful to Wendy for defending her, but Wendy's generosity only made Tink want to pinch her even more. Wendy, in the meantime, was so tired and sore from her hard fall that she rolled over on her side and fell asleep. I have an idea, Peter said. Let's build Wendy a house. The boys were thrilled. They loved to build. They were incredibly quick carpenters, too, scurrying around for firewood and branches and twigs and looking for soft, cushiony flowers to use for her bedding. Just then, John and Michael dropped from the sky. They had been sleep flying, but they woke as soon as they hit the ground. Mama, Michael cried, rubbing his eyes. Nana? Where are we? John asked. Are we dreaming? Finally, the boys spotted Peter. Oh, hello, Peter said distractedly. He had forgotten all about them. Using his feet as a ruler, he bent to measure Wendy to see how big her new house should be. Come on, he told their brothers. We're building a house for Wendy, and you have to help. I don't see why Wendy should get her own house, John said. She's only a girl. She's going to be our mother, Curly said. Now you heard Peter. Get to work. Wendy moved and groaned a bit in her sleep. Slightly, Peter cried. Get a doctor. Slightly said aye aye and left at once before remembering that there were no doctors on the island. Still, he knew better to disobey Peter, so he returned wearing John's hat and looking very serious. Although the other boys knew that Slightly was just pretending, Peter did not. To him, make-believe was the same thing as true, and so, convinced that Slightly was in fact a doctor, he said, Help this lady, she is very ill. I will give her some medicine, said Slightly, bending over the sleeping Wendy and pretending just to do that. And there, she is cured. Whew, what a relief, Peter said. While Wendy slept, the boys built her house around her. They knew that she would love it because as she slept, she sang, I wish I had a pretty house, the smallest ever seen, with bright and shiny reddish walls and a roof of mossy green. As they worked, the boys sang back. Here's Slightly checking on Wendy as the doctor. Hope you can see that. We built your walls and mossy roof and made a lovely door. So tell us now, Wendy mother, do you want something more? Still sleeping, Wendy sang. Well, since you ask, I'd surely grin, for windows all about, with daffodils peeping in and babies peeping out. So the boys built windows and pulled flowers for Wendy, but they weren't quite sure to do about the babies. Let's just pretend that part, they said. When they were finished, the house was beautiful and Wendy was completely contained inside. They were about to go inside to surprise her when they realized they had forgotten to put a knocker on the door. Silly donkeys, Tinkerbell cried from above. Toodles gave the sole of his shoe to hang on the door, which did the trick. Now there was nothing left to do but knock. Everyone stand up straight, Peter warned, and be on your best behavior. He knocked politely and all the boys waited. When Wendy opened the door, she was blinking sleepishly, and the boys whipped off their hats and bowed. Where am I? She asked, confused and surprised. The boys practically tumbled over one another to explain. We built you this house, Slightly said. Do you like it? Asked Nibs. It's lovely, she said, looking around. How did you know exactly what I wanted? Just a clever guess, said Slightly. He saw no reason to tell her that she had been singing in her sleep. Can we be your children? The twins asked. Well, Wendy said, it's awfully nice of you, but I'm only a child myself. I have no real experience. That's okay, Peter said, although he actually knew less about mothers than any of them. We just need a nice motherly person. You'll do. Wendy agreed to try and invited the boys into her house. As they gathered around her, she did the first motherly thing and told them the end to Cinderella. When she was finished, she followed the boys back to their cave and tucked them in for the evening before returning to her new home. On Monday, Chapter 8, Something Worse Than Night. See you then.